stole my diamonds over the weekend? Well,
tell me.
Number one, Martin Brundle, who does a magnificent job doing the grid walk. He come unstuck at the weekend. He's approached. What's her name? Cara Delevingne,
the supermodel.
Yeah, the supermodel. And he's going, can we have a word? And she's going, no. And he went, well, everybody talks in the grid. Come on, you having a word? She went, no. And he left her with an uppercut, which was a crushing blow. He went, well, it wouldn't have been that interesting anyway. And walked off. So brilliant.
Do you know,
from
though,
him.
I have seen some quite extreme takes on that. And I've seen one of the Sky F1 pundits, who is Karen Chandok, has said that people who seemingly don't care should have their passes removed. And he's obviously talking about that incident with Delevingne and Brundle, which I think is a bit extreme, because she may well care. It's just that she didn't want to talk. And everyone has the right to not have to talk, as much as we might say you're on the grid and therefore it's open play for everyone. You know, maybe she was a bit shy, maybe she was a bit unsure of what she was going to be asked and just didn't want to get involved. And, you know, so I feel a little bit sorry for her in the pylon in that respect. But it is very funny, I will give you
What
that.
if it was you? Because you get invited to everything and you're at the opening of an envelope. You are.
Not.
So they invite you onto the grid, but part of the deal is, Nat, would you come on the grid and would you just speak to Martin Brundle? That's just...
Yeah, of course, I'd do it. No
there we
problem,
go.
of course.
So she should have known.
Yeah, maybe. And maybe she should have been advised that, you could say. But I do think the pylon is a bit OTT, like I just said, that people who seemingly don't care should have their grid passes removed. We don't know if she doesn't care. She just didn't want to speak on camera.
You can't say nothing anymore.
No.
Without someone jumping all over you.
No, that's right.
Anyway, number 2. This is the Charlotte FC commentator, Will Palasuk, who got possessed by Mickey Mouse somehow when he was like commentating on a goal that was scored.
Vargas in the area, still with it on the right side, stepping over, sending it back for Lindsay. Lindsay sends it back into the area for Swiderski. One touch, he scores! Another one for Swiderski! And that one was more impressive than the first!
It's so Mickey Mouse. It's unbelievable. So Will Palaszczuk could have a career as the new Mickey Mouse, voiceover. Fantastic.
He'll never live that down.
I love it.
That'll be up there in the 10 best moments. Anyway, number 3, we've got the star performer for England yesterday, who's been waiting for his chance.
Yeah.
And Mark Wood, he gets 7 wickets. He got 40 runs in the 2 innings he had, and he won England the game, in my opinion. They all played a part, but you would say Mark Wood, man of the match. He's number 3 for me. What a player. Ed.
No, there's no audio. I think we were looking for audio, listening out for audio.
You know, you're about De Gea playing with bad defenders. You know what I mean? I was trying to, I'm a novice to this, reading it out, and I'm relying on you, Ed, to hit the mark. And all of a sudden, there's no audio. But
you're right to pick out his performance. Absolutely brilliant. And was named, of course, the player of the match as well. Him and Wokes together, obviously, steering England to victory in the end, which was absolutely fantastic and so needed, obviously, to ensure that the Ashes hopes are still alive for England. Are you optimistic?
I am, yes. I'm looking at Old Trafford thinking, obviously, I was thinking to myself, is he going to leave Jimmy Anderson out? That's a big call. It's a big call to rest him. But that was proved correct. So... Do you bring Jimmy Anderson back in? I think it's a big decision for him. But going into the game, now the pressure has slightly moved on to Australia. Are England going to win 3 on the bounce?
Yes.
Because that's what they've got to do. But do you know what, Nat? You know, like you get the Masters, you get the World Cup final, the Euros final, the women's final that was at Wembley. If it gets to 2-2 and we end up waiting for the third decider, it's going to be one of the best sporting events we've ever witnessed.
You will definitely be seeking tickets for that.
Well, it's all out attack from both teams as well. I don't think Australia they've tried to come up with a solution to Bazball, what they call it, where England are just attacking by putting men out. Then they get accused of being negative, but they didn't nullify England when they. And by the way, it's like playing Bazball against Man City. Yeah. You are playing against the best team in the world.
Can I just quickly bring you what Cara Delevingne had to say on social media with regards to that interview that didn't happen with Martin Brundle? She says, I was told to say no, so I did.
She was told to say no. By
She
who?
doesn't say who, but she put it on social media last night.
Her agent?
That she'd been told to say no.
Well, it must be her agent.
Maybe. Some advisor has obviously
And there's
said
no
to
rules
her.
You got to talk.
Well, I mean, we've had a text in here that is telling us the rules are if you're on the grid, you agree to talk to the press. You're in a super privileged position that millions would want. It takes as much energy to say this is amazing as it does to be rude. And I understand that point of view completely, of course. Most of us would love to have that opportunity. But equally, I'm not sure. I'd like to see the F1 rule, the actual ruling, if there is a rule, that if you're on the grid, it's open play for everybody.
I've seen Ivan Toney on the grid.
Ivan Toney was there with a few of the Brentford.
I actually heard him.
He was there with a few of the Brentford
saying
players.
to the boss at Mercedes, "Give us a job."
You are a disgrace. He was there with a few of the Brentford players. Thomas Frank was there. Phil Giles, our director of football, was there as well. So
how's he get there? Yeah, I can't remember Phil Giles scoring a goal.
He's director of football.
How's he got in there?
Thomas Frank. Maybe.
Fair enough. Thomas Frank and Ivan Toney, goal machine, and top manager. How's the director of football worm his way in there?
Because Thomas Frank's probably said, "Come along with me." There you go.
Jealous.
I think we all are, ultimately, and it looked like a great day out.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.